Good morning, everybody. Um, so today's Wednesday. Um, called this a cup of Joe because that's what I'm drinking. And so a few things have happened over I'm going to say the last week. It's probably been building up a lot more than just the last week. In fact, I know it's been building up more than the last week. So my rant that I'm probably going to go on soapbox and negativity and whatever else the hell you want to call it, keyboard warring, even though I'm not being a keyboard warrior here. I'm talking to you face to face best I can because we don't live next to each other. Um, is all about the hobby right now. Talking cards and dice slash computer gaming for sports. Um, I'm just going to start with. I know this video is probably going to have some ramifications for me personally, meaning that there are going to be some offended people, some people who are going to take my criticisms of what's going on and direct it at themselves. And if they do, I don't give a damn. Um, and so I'm just going to rant and say what I got to say. I'm tired of walking on eggshells. And I know that negativity is not something any of us want. And kind of going back to something that happened with Vinny reading his stuff, he was trying to get the board to not be negative. I don't agree with his decision on that. I understand his decision. I understand what he's trying to do, but we can't suppress negativity just because we don't want to hear it. If somebody's going off on a rant that is unsubstantiated or just complete wrong, just bitching and moaning to bitch and moan, then I get it. I do think that the person, I think it was Giles, I don't know how to say his name. Um, I think he intended it to be a good post, or a productive post. How's that? Good might be the wrong word. A productive post where he's actually getting into the same frame of mind I am, which is we are propping up all of these game companies and developers and kissing their asses. And I'm tired of it. And I'm going to tell you why I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it because it's not that hard to put out your own cards. I just did it. I just made a game up myself and I've made up several because there are missing games that I want to do for my 1980 universe. And so I begged one developer for a game, couldn't get it, just can't get it. They just ignore me. So despite spending thousands of dollars on this company, they just completely ignore me. And I'm going to get into that whole rant about. I'm not going to call out individual companies. I'm just not. It's not worth it. They know who they are. They know what they're doing. Um, and I'm going to get into a rant as to why I believe it's happening. Hopefully, I can remember all of this stuff to get into all this. My point is, going back to Giles' post, is he wanted to say, look, these guys have stuff to work on. They're not perfect. And here's all their flaws. And each one of those companies should have taken that flawed post and tried to better their game if they want to. Do they have to make Giles, and again, I'm really sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, happy? No, hell no. But you're charging for your game. So if he has purchased your game, and you have to decide how much he's purchased, and one purchase should be enough to make you want to at least acknowledge his post. But if he's bought several, like I've put thousands of dollars into a couple companies, um, and I feel like they should acknowledge when I say something, and when I say X isn't working. Do I think every company needs to make a game the way I want? No. That's why I went to this. Started to just do it myself. Um, sorry. Of course, you get to start doing a YouTube video and your phone starts ringing. Um, so going back to where I was, but you have to make that decision uh, a company because you charge for your game. If you don't charge for your game, you can do whatever the hell you want. The second you put a dollar figure on your game, you have customers and you have responsibilities and you need to attend to them. In his post, even though I wrote on his post that I tend to try to look at the positive of every game rather than sit on the negatives, because I don't believe there are a lot of negatives in a lot of the games. For me, every gamer is different in what they're looking for. I, I I agree with his post. I agree with his where he was going, which is stop kissing all these guys' asses and start saying, well, your game's okay, but you charge $120. And so for that, compared to another guy who charges $30 for the same type game, let's just use baseball because that's one of the big vendors out there, right? Uh, I can go spend $30 and get a season from X company and be very happy with that game and that season and the quality of what I get. And over here, I have to spend 100 to get the same season to get their game. And I understand every developer has reasons for their prices and paper and blah 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 blah. I've never complained about prices. I'm not complaining about prices now, but I think they're important to talk about because when you got one game that's $80 more than another, is again an example, you should expect more out of the $110 game. You should expect a lot more from them as a vendor. And you should, if you bought that game, have input into how it works. And again, having input doesn't mean the developer is just waiting on his keyboard for some kind of feedback, has to make that change tomorrow and get it out to you. I'm not talking about that. The biggest thing, and I am going to call a company out now, Appa, the biggest thing that bothers me about one of the big companies, Appa, is their lack of customer service. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know. They refuse to acknowledge their customer base. Part of the reason I'm not going this weekend to Canton, I thought I was, is because it's APA. It's APA backed. I'm not backing anything APA. They don't give a shit about their customers. They don't. All they're trying to do is sell their product, and that's fine. Go for it. Strat, not much better. Not much better, honestly. I think they care a little more about their customers. I think they respond a little bit more. But these two companies are on their way down. I'm telling you right now. Yes, they have huge followings. Appa's got, people who will, it's almost like, now I'm going to get political, but they're almost like Trumpers. They're Appa, whatever the hell you want to call them, ERS. And they will let Appa do whatever they want to them. I get my shipment on time, so everything's great. Well, yeah, I guess in your world it probably is. But you have to understand your company blows. The one you like, it blows. I had plenty of problems with shipments, ship me the wrong stuff, never answer my emails, don't know if it's being fixed or not. All of a sudden it shows up 3 weeks later. I'm already so far past wanting that game and wanting to play that game and wanting to do anything with it that I still haven't even opened that box they sent me. And this was a year and a half ago. And I don't intend to. Probably throw it on eBay. Um, Probably throw all my stuff on Appa. I'm so tired of it. I'm so over it. I'm so over being nice about it. Um, there's too many other companies out there. And again, I'm going to keep saying this probably about 10 times in this video, if not 100. I'm going to make my own. And I'm not making them for anybody else but me. That's all I want. I'm not trying to please anybody. I'm not trying to do anything other than have fun playing something I like to do as a hobby. And I feel like what's happening in the sport now is it's all being sucked out. All the happiness, all the excitement, all the passion, the joy of doing this stuff sucked right out of the sport for me, or the hobby. It's not a sport. Out of the hobby, it's just being sucked out. People post the negative stuff, or I got called out for posting too much in an area. You have no idea how much money I've spent on that company, and to be called out that I post too much in their Facebook group, and to have nobody from that company back me, that's part of what's kicked off this rant. So, and 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 again, the problem with calling anybody out is you've got a core group of people for all these different games. I don't care what they are, who again are like Trumpers, and they have decided that facts don't matter anymore. People's opinions don't matter if they don't match theirs. Um, they want to live in their little world, and my little world is awesome, and you go away, um, and that's fine. And if that makes you happy in your world, go for it. You're definitely going to be blocking me, and you're definitely going to be not following me, and you're definitely not going to be in my group, my Facebook group, because that just doesn't work for me. That kind of mentality, that kind of thought process that you're just going to kiss your vendor's butt because what, you're scared they're not going to let you buy the game. I mean, give me a break. You should expect quality and customer service, not perfection. Quality and customer service from anybody you kick anything out of your wallet for. If it's free, whole different ballgame. If you're paying for it, the line, that's the line. That's where the line is. There's no gray area. The second you put $1 out for anything from anybody, you are their customer, and they should treat you as such. And that I think is missing from our gaming industry. That's my first rant. And again, I am not hitting all companies. I'm hitting some. Called out a few. There are a few I didn't call out because I'm not entirely yet 100% positive I want to, but I'm absolutely getting ready to push a few companies into that APA strat area. Um, and you know what seems to be? It seems to be when they get too big. When they get too big, they can't handle it. They don't staff for it. They don't think expansion. They think expansion of selling. Oh God, yeah, they want to sell more, create more games, blah blah blah. They don't expand their staff to handle what they're doing. And what ends up happening, the first thing that ends up happening is the customer service goes down the tube. And the second thing that happens is they start only looking at the financial charts and not at their people who are buying. And it's really showing. I'm telling you, it's really starting to show. Um, and it's a gigantic part of the rant and the anger or the frustration you hear in my voice is disappointment because I like some of these games a lot that are being put out by certain companies, developers. But I am tremendously disappointed. And I'll just speak for myself how I've been treated by some. Um, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I maybe get in a different rant another day on that, but that's on that. And I just think that it's pushed me into a corner I didn't want to go into, which is developing my own stuff. Um, and again, I'm only doing it for me at this point. I mean, someday I may share it. I will never sell it ever. I don't want you to be my customer. I want you to be my friend. I want to hang out. I want to do. I get into this for the friendships. Well, let's back up for a second. Is there any real friendships in all this stuff? Let's also take off the gloves here a little bit and talk about this. We don't know each other. I've got friends from high school days. I've got friends I've made along the way. I've got friends that I made at like the last conference I went to. If I've met you face to face, we've shared some kind of time together. I understand a little bit about you. Then I consider you my friend. If I have never met you face to face, and I have never, I'm just going to stop there. If I haven't met you face to face, it's hard to really say we're friends. Uh, I know some people are going to take that wrong. I'm not saying I'll call somebody out because I want to say this in a good way. So Ian Book, who is the developer of a game, I've never met him face to face. Had hoped to at a conference, before a couple different times. We just have never, met face to face, but we've talked a lot online. Um, Mike Ignikowski is another one who does the hockey and baseball spreadsheets. I've talked to him. Kevin Thomas. I never met Kevin. Um, even though we lived together, lived in Tennessee at the same time. Just never ended up uh, uh, seeing each other face to face. There are certain people I throw in a friends bucket still, even though I haven't met them face to face. But there's others that if I haven't called out your name, that doesn't mean I don't consider you a friend. I'm just giving examples. Um, and so I don't now I forgot where I was going with this because I got off on a friends tangent. The point being is that I think that's something I've learned along this um, journey since I got back into gaming, gosh, almost 10 years ago now, probably, is that I don't think I was doing it for the right, not doing it, it's not really the good word. As you can tell, this is all just off the cuff. And rants usually are, right? Um, I, I, I got into this. Let's start back to why I got into this. I got back into this because I really liked playing Status Pro. I liked playing Stratomatic. I liked playing. I feel like I'm missing one. Um, Appa kinda it was in when I was younger, but we didn't use it as much. Those are the two basic games. Let's just use those two. And they were fun when I was a kid. And like most of you, I dropped it. Life started, and I get into your 50s, and your life starts to cool down tremendously, and lots of different things happen to us all. And I don't even remember how I got back in. I might have saw a post on Facebook. I might have seen an ad. I have no idea. But I got back in. And why? Why did I decide to do this? Well, like a lot of you, rekindle that fun I had as a kid with board games. Also find something to just fill in my time. My um, time where I really had no hobby going on at the time. Like I used to fill it constantly with sports. Out playing softball, out playing flag football, out playing basketball. And then I had surgery, and like I had to find something to do. Um, and this is what I found was this community. Very small at the time, by the way. Now it's grown exponentially since. Um, and so that's why I'm in. And and then that turned into um, oh, this is cool. We have social media now, which obviously didn't have when I was a kid. And I can share what I'm doing. And then sharing became, and this is my own personal thing that I struggle with. I can't do anything half-assed. Doesn't matter what it is. It's the passion in me to want to. I either go all in or I go all out. And some people may see that as a positive, and some may see it as a negative, and both people are right because it's both. Um, and so so now I got social media, Facebook, and that's basically all I do. I don't the Delphi forums don't do anything for me. I have posted over there a couple of times, but I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. Um, Facebook is what works for me. And that started to grow and grow and grow and grow, and I started joining all these different groups. And I started to see the things that I've seen over this last 5 years is that certain people are being lifted, um, respected, and given this, I don't want to say godlike, but just given this, and I use the word given because it is given, um, given by you, by me, by all of us who give it to them, this like status amongst us. And what that's kind of caused is a high school like structure. You've got these cliques that are going on. And I saw it at the last conference I was at. I saw the cliques. And it's like, that is not why I came back into this. So walk back into a high school clique structure where this guy is, oh, he's this, you know, and this guy is, everybody knows this person, everybody knows this person, everybody knows this person. But and what does any of that mean? I mean, okay, so you know them, so what? Um, why are they popular? Why are they? It's kind of like high school. You go back to why was the X person popular? You like, what the hell? Why that person? Um, a lot of it's timing, just perfect timing for them. They did something to make themselves important now. Reality is what I've seen over time is these people don't know more than me. And I'm not, this isn't a me against anybody. They don't have more games than I have. They haven't bought more than I've bought. Which my point to that is they're not more knowledgeable than I am. They haven't been playing for longer than I have. Um, so why is it again that I'm supposed to think that that person's incredible at this or something, or more important, or I should listen to their opinions on what I should buy or not buy, or play or not play? I, and again, maybe this is just on me. Maybe I should be going, why am I following the pack? I don't need that. I know exactly what I want that works for me. I don't need somebody on a YouTube station like this telling me what I should buy and what I shouldn't buy. Um, Reviewing a game, that's I'm not on about people like that. But I'm just thinking, I'm seeing this cult-like thing that's happening in our groups, and that's not good. I just don't think that's good. Um, I really don't. I don't think anybody has earned, and I mean anybody, has earned anything in our groups. And I don't want anyone to, because that's when you start to have problems. Um, and we're starting to see them creep up in the groups, in the Facebook groups, and people pulling sides and um, I don't know. You could just see it, and it's we've got enough cult groups going on in our hobby. With you got the people who love EPA, and the people who love Strat, and the people who love play games, and the people who love replay games, whatever. Insert X game here. Those cults are there already, and there are the group of people like me who are every game. They play everything, um, and and so there's enough of that already. That bash heads, if you get a Strat guy say something bad about a APA game, the APA guys get all pissed and they gang up on him, and it's just ridiculous. It's so schoolyard, um, high school, maybe even elementary school at times stuff. It's ridiculous. Um, so in the end, what this has done to me, um, after some seriously long thought this week, is is made me question, what am I doing here? Why am I even doing this? What am I getting out of playing a game? Um, it's lost its gold edges, whatever the excitement to it. And I told you I'm a passionate guy. So what happens when you lose the passion on something? Like I said, it's all in or all out. Um, and I just I, kn- I felt this creeping in on me this week when I started making my own cards in my own games and started thinking, if you look over here, why did I buy all this? Why? Why? I can make it myself, you know? And I and for those who can't, I'm sorry, it's not hard. Go to AI, go learn some Python. Um, you know, and yes, AI is, well, anybody who follows me know it's a pain in the ass, but it can help structure things and give you templates and get you started. Build your own damn games. and build it the way you want. So you're not trying to chase down X game company. Can I get a copy of this game? 8 months later, you're still asking for a copy of a game. Um, just build it yourself. I don't know why it took me so long to get here. I really don't. Um, and I built this softball game on my own. Took I'm telling you, no more than 3 days of in and out work from like maybe 3 hours a day, 3 days, 9 hours to build this game. Is it some kind of crazy ass formula? No, it's a softball game. Roll 3 dice, get a result. Have a couple of charts because it's a beer league softball that add in some crazy fun. Um, it's all I need. I don't, and from there, I've already built a soccer. I've built a, what else did I build? Hell, I can't even remember. My point is I've got the template now to basically build whatever I want for myself. I can build baseball, I can build football, I can build basketball, and I can continue to add to them as I play. Like when I was testing out my softball game, I was like, well, this is cool, and it kind of felt like back in the days when I played softball a lot. Um, and then I just imagined myself going, being at the field and going, wait a minute, we're missing this kind of, piece. Like, some people have better arms than others, and some people, play better defense than others, and some people are always late to the game. I mean, we're talking specific to softball here, right? You know those guys. It's like it's the second inning, and here comes Dave. Um, you know, and so I tried to take the thought of like softball, and you're in a beer league, and I call it a beer league. It could be called a city league. It could be I was in the military. It could be a military league, and I just threw some people in there. Names I know. Kevin Thomas is on this one. Had a great game, 5 for 5 in the last one. Messed around and threw a picture in on each one, which was really kind of cool. There's Kevin. Get put him in. Had fun with AI and took a real picture of him, and had AI make a little cartoon character. You can see I've got little things in there for slugger and clutch, and then there's little traits that he has. What the one more means? One more. He's that guy on the team and Kevin, I hope you don't mind me saying this. I don't know Kevin personally like this, but I gave traits to everybody, and most of it I had AI do randomly. But he has a trait of one more beer, so he's that guy who wants one more. Um, and and I just threw in some stuff of other guys. Sorry, my phone going off again. Not other guys. Some traits from other companies. This is another reason why I wouldn't sell it, because it basically stole this from the best from other companies. Like the hit type, I used the idea, not the exact kind of system, but the idea from Status Pro, because I always liked that. I like it always gave you the right, left, and switch hitter. And I started with switch hitter and went, wait a minute, nobody switch hits in softball. You either hit right or left. You're not worried about the pitcher. So I ended up switching. Another thing that I ended up switching after a couple of games went right, left. And so you always start out with that R, and then there was I think it was an S for spray hitter and P for power, and it was RN. I always liked S for spray. So I've got spray hitters and I got power hitters because that's basically what you have in softball. Um, and and so I have that, and then I made that matter inside the chart. You know, Possible home run, but if you're not a slugger, you don't get it. That kind of idea. Really, it's just there's so many games out there, and I've played almost every single one of them. That probably every single one of them influenced how I did this. And I think any developer, especially the newer developers, who tell you that their games aren't in some way based off of something they played, are lying. I'm sorry, you're lying, because I see it in your games. I play them. You can see extreme similarities and things. Look, we're all using dice, right? So there's your first similarity right there. We're all going to either a chart or it's on the player's card. Similarity there. It's part of what this is. I'm not claiming anybody copied anybody's game. I'm just saying there's inspirations that come from games you play. And as a developer, you put those into your games. And I call any developer who says I'm wrong a liar. Don't like it? Tough shit, because that's true. Um, anyway, so I've got this, and this is really it's really set me off even more this week was the combination of that being called out for posting too much in a forum group, um, and then seeing Vinny's post. I do want to get to Vinny's, and I say Vinny's post because I believe Vinny, and I hope you aren't going to kill me on this. I think it was more on his own personal page. I don't think he posted this in an actual Facebook group. I think he had it on his own personal timeline, but it struck me so well. Now, again, I didn't agree with Vinny on eliminating Giles' post, but hey, that's what life is. But respect it because it's he's the admin, and at least he's um, you know tending to his forum and having his Facebook group have the content that he wants in it. I respect the hell out of that because I can name maybe 3 Facebook groups that are like that. Most of the big companies, their admins are nowhere to be seen. They don't answer questions. They don't even post what they're doing. And again, if you are, you are. You know who you are. You know who you aren't. and um, and so uh, admins and groups are very few. Now I got off on another tangent. Let me go back to Vinny's post, and I've got to remember it. I may have to just literally sit here and look it up, but and I'm going to because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Let me quickly just look at what his. I'm not going to read it word for word because it's on his personal thing. I'm going to summarize what he said. Um, okay. He is on about just talking about how stuff is unraveled in a specific game group that he's on, and he got personally attacked, which I've gotten personally attacked too, and Dave Gardner's talked about how he's been personally attacked. Did find it interesting that about 60 people came to his defense when he posted that, but when other people get attacked, nobody comes to their defense. So, and Vinny talks about that in this. He talks about keyboard warriors, and which Vinny, I'm just going to say this, and I'm not. Please don't get upset about this, but everybody's a keyboard warrior on social media. Everybody, because unless you're posting a video response to what somebody writes, you're a keyboard warrior. You're keyboard warring back at them. But that's not his intended um, meaning for what he said. He's frustrated because these people get negative on him, and he doesn't feel if they were in a room with him, they'd act like this. And I 1,000% agree with you. And so let's just put that in a different spot. I agree with him that there's plenty of keyboard warriors out there, in the sense that they would not back their words up if they were at a conference and met you face to face. Vinny, I agree, 100% agree with you. Um, but here's the line you said, my friend, and I am going to read this word for word because this so resonated with me. He said, the most surprising thing was that those I've done things for never, and he put that in caps, spoke up. The few people I thought I was closest to turned into church mice. And Vinny, we're not close. I've never met you, so I don't consider us close. So I hope you weren't thinking of me in that instance. Um, and on that particular post that was going around, and again, this is back to Giles' post. Again, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I disagreed with Giles on the post, saying that I try to take things more positive on games, and kind of now wish I hadn't even said that because I thought his post was valid. Um, it's this is where I wanted to go with the keyboard warrior thing. Um, unfortunately, text in our world today, text, social media, email, it's all keyboard warrior, and it's all it can also be taken the wrong way because in this video, you can see my frustration, right? So you're taking my words properly, I would hope, based on frustration. If I typed all this out, because I have gone from being frustrated to frustrated to positive in this video, you're not going to see that in the text. So you don't know the tone of voice. You don't know the tone of voice of a text. You don't know the tone of voice of an email, unless somebody is literally putting in emojis all over the place, and you don't see that with our community much. Um, you don't know what his tone of voice was in that. He could have been smiling the whole time he wrote that, and just saying, "Hey, I just really want to talk about. We talk too much about the positives, and these guys do have some holes in their game, and here they are. Do you guys agree with me?" That kind of post tone would have probably never made it to where Vinny is frustrated out of his mind. But he didn't know that that's his tone. And I had a very good friend once tell me, and texting and email, social media, anything that's written, you read it as you feel. So if you're pissed off that day, you're going to read something. Yep. And also let me add to that. If you have an opinion about a certain person and you think they're this way, like maybe, and I'm not saying Vinny thinks this about Giles, but that if Vinny thought he always was a complainer, just throwing that in there, he's going to read every post he makes as a complaint post. Um, that's not fair to him. And I'm not saying Vinny does this. I'm saying every one of us, me too. The point being, you read things how you feel. And if you're frustrated or something else is going on in your life or something is happening, you look at a posting and read it the way you feel, not the way the person intended, unless he tells you exactly in that post, in that text, in that email. Hey, I'm smiling while I'm writing this. Hey, I'm not trying to offend somebody, but then you turn around and offend everybody. I don't mean that piece, but at least understanding the person's uh, uh, um, feelings at the time that they're writing or ranting or whatever they're doing. Don't project. I feel like Dr. Phil now, but don't project what you think they're feeling onto what they wrote, or what you're feeling onto what they wrote, because you will read it negatively. And heck, you may even do the opposite. Somebody might really be angry, and well, this person's never angry, so that post is not meant the way everyone else is taking it. Anyway, quick coffee. That hit me because I went on a tangent again. That hit me because I felt that, and I posted this back to Vinny, that I felt that line. Um, it, it this goes back to the friends too. I'm tying everything together now. All my tangents are going to get tied together here. We're not, and he has it. His expectation was that the friends that were closest to him were going to come to his rescue. And no, Vinny doesn't need rescued, but we all need support. And Vinny was looking for support, and by Vinny's post, did not get the support Vinny wanted and expected, especially from his closest friends. What does that do to Vinny? Well, I can tell you again, since I don't know him, I don't know what that does to Vinny. I know what it would do to me. It makes me want to crawl back into my own lane. And I said that kind of, I think on I don't remember, my Facebook group or whatever, or maybe I said it on the actual post where somebody called me out. Um, and let me make specific about that. Nobody called me out personally, by name. They posted that somebody was posting too much in a certain group, and I was like, oh damn, is that me? So I went back through that exact group and looked at the last week, and I was like, oh shit, I posted a lot here. I was excited about a game I was playing, and I was excited about the results and the graphics I was making, and so I posted in that group, and that goes back to the pay thing. I put a lot of money into that game, not company. I should be able to post as fucking much as I want in that group. First off, if you understand social media, the more posts they get, the better their algorithms are. Um, and I'm not saying companies care about their algorithms, but some do. I can tell you some do. Um, but that absolutely should be my right to post as fucking much as I want in that group with as much money as I spent on them. And and if you don't like it personally, then you shouldn't follow me. There are sometimes I think I want to have a Facebook education seminar on how to block people, how to not follow them, how to ignore them for 30 days, how to use this thing right here. It's called a scroll button. Scroll past the fucking post. You don't want to read it. And if you want to find an answer for something, there's this thing. I know this is good breaking news here called search. You want to find an answer on something? Use the fucking search box. Search it out. You don't, the expectation you should be able to go straight to somebody's group and every fucking post in that group is meaningful to you says a lot about you. Um, that's not how social media works. Social media is an open invite, especially once you're in the group, to do whatever you want. Is there rules? Of course there's rules. And was I breaking any of those said rules? No, I was not. So your opinion of what should be in that group don't fucking matter. It's not your group to decide. You're not the admin. Vinny is the admin of that group that he's talking about. It is Vinny's decision as to whether or not he wants negative posts in there. And you don't fucking like what Vinny's doing? Get the hell out. Go to another group. I didn't agree with his decision, but I didn't complain about it. I didn't say, Vinny, you're wrong. This isn't what you should do. You should do this. It's Vinny's fucking group. Vinny decides he wants a positive, happy group. Then the people that are in that group should be positive, happy people. And that's what they want to post. That's Vinny's fucking decision. That's how Facebook works, guys. You don't understand that? Get the fuck off Facebook. I mean, this shit is so irritating and so irritating to anybody who puts time and effort into this hobby and into those groups. And to have people who do drive-bys, call them drive-bys because you might be in that group once a month, maybe. And you're going to say what your fucking opinion is, but what the group should be? Kiss my ass. You're not in there every day like the rest of us. You're not, you are a drive-by look at something and you, you want to be able to scroll and see exactly what you want. You don't know how to use social media. You don't know how Facebook works. And you're probably fucking lazy, because it's not hard to find what you want. It is not. And it's irritating, extremely irritating to see shit like that. And it takes guys like me, guys like Vinny, others who probably are not even saying anything. You ever wonder why X person went away for 30 days, 60 days, a year? And you're like, wow, I wonder what happened to X. Sure, life happens and things happen and people are gone. Some of them got tired of this fucking bullshit and walked away. Just absolutely walked away. And I'm not far. I am not far at all to just shutting down, as Vinny said in his post. Um, he's actually trying to do something I did a long time ago, Vinny, and good luck. I hope it works for you, buddy. Shrink your friends list, you know, hide people, defriend people, all this other stuff you want to do on Facebook. It's it's a band-aid, my friend. It's a band-aid that will work for a little while, but it's not really getting to the issue. Um, and you just need to I'm not turning this into me telling Vinny what to do session. Him and I can have an offline conversation if he wants to ever. Um, I just again, I just felt, and again, maybe I'm reading into his post, right? But his post really hit me because he says he's not phased in this by the least. He's just cleaning up the mess, but I don't believe that. I don't. I think that's what he wants you to believe. I think that's what he wants to believe. Um, you don't post that if you're not phased. You're phased. You're frustrated. You're disappointed. It's in that email or in that post, my friend. And I think you need to be more honest with yourself um, in cleaning up the mess. I agree with. That's where I'm headed, my friend, myself. Exactly what I've been thinking all week. Our messes are different. All of our messes are different, right? It's all our perception. Um, and you got to start to sometimes just take an entire step back and go, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? What do I want out of it? And and then make decisions based off of that and stay flexible because they're going to change and your attitude's going to change and things are going to change. Um, so don't let yourself not retract some of those decisions. You may decide, I'm going to never buy another game from anyone. And, a month later, you decide to. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe you do need a month off from buying games from anybody. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Um, it's actually going to lead me into my another topic. Man, am I venting today? But I don't care. Which is this craze to buy the next thing. I'm gonna, and I'm not. This is me. My craze to buy everything. Um, Part of that passion that is bad. Um, it, it's I'm gonna equal it to Apple. Um, in particular the Apple iPhones. And if you're an iPhone lover slash cult member, apologies. I used to be one. You ever see the commercials for Apple phones? Ever tell you one thing about the phone, the new upgrade? Ever tell you this one's got a better picture? And this one was 8 and this one's 12 pixels. Ever tell you they added this app for free? Ever tell you anything about the phone and what the new version has? I watch those ads over and over again because this is one of my pet peeves and one of the reasons I left Apple for Android. No, they don't. They show you this commercial of a guy surfing or he's on a snowboard or they're in a really cool cafe and they got their iPhones and blah blah blah. Okay. And then it ends. Buy your iPhone 12, buy your iPhone 15. Why? The iPhone 14 is the same as the iPhone 15. There's literally so small of an advance, but yet they want you to pay $1,000 for it because they got a craze in marketing. Best marketing company ever is inside that Apple building. There's nothing about that new phone that you A, really need, and B, no difference. You might get a megapixel or two better on your camera. Nothing else. It's really nothing else. But yet, the craze they were able to put out of you don't have an Apple 15, you've only got a 14. What's wrong with you? You're living in the 1990s. Give me a fucking break. It's the same damn phone. Just called it another number, charged you $1,000 more, and you fell for it. That's it. It's ridiculous. Android's not much better. I'm not sitting here saying Android better than Apple, that kind of conversation. I'm not going to get into it. It was one of my pet peeves that really got into me. And I see this hobby heading down the same road. Um, when you look at, somebody puts out a new game, the uh, everyone's, you know, And that's great for our developers, right? They love it. Can't even put enough stock in their whatever they have in their little stock rooms. Every company different size. Some ran by one person. Um, but this craze to get the latest game, and then you know what happens? Like me, you sit up there. I'm not even. I haven't even unwrapped half mine. And I hear other people on YouTube go, "Hey, I bought this game 2.5 years ago and haven't had a chance to play it." Well, you know why? Because you did what I did, which is you had this feeling you had to buy it because it was out. And some of these companies like to pull it off the shelf. And that's really gotten under my skin now, really gotten under my skin. And because you got the program right there, you could easily kick it out. You could easily have your, if I wanted to buy it, because again, you're selling, I'm your customer, you can absolutely package up a game for me. And if you want to say, to have it, these are the ones we have readily in stock, here's the ones we don't, you want to put a price on the ones that you don't, because not not doing it in bundles, um, gives you your discount, so you have to order this special for me, then tell me that price, let me make that decision on whether I want to pay it or not to you. But to just not offer it is some kind of stupid ass tease that shouldn't be happening in our community. We like to call it a community, right? And then inside the communities are those other cliques and other communities. And we shouldn't, our developers and our game companies should not be treating us that way. Should not be saying, you can't buy that, it's not on the shelf anymore. Uh, what? Why? Did you lose the code? Did you lose the ability to kick that out? What? I'm not talking to Walmart where I want X on the shelf. This is supposed to be a community, and it is becoming a vendor and a community. And the vendors holding over the community what they can and can't have. And that's not for me. That's not for me. No, that's not right. And so it's that's been really boiling with me, and it's that boil is now, as you can tell, tipped over. I just created my own fucking game. No, I get what I want out of it. Guess what? I get to keep my 50, 75, $100 that I would have sent to you if you'd have just give me a damn copy of the game. But no, couldn't do that. Nope, not available. The hell does that mean? So it's it, you know this is kind of, you can tell this is my breaking point. I have to make some serious decisions on what I really care about with this hobby, how deep I really want to go, how much I really want to pull back or dive into my own stuff and just go away from social media, as Vinny said. I think he said something about where he wanted to just shut it all off, or thought about shutting it off, or was considering shutting it off. And Vinny, I'm sorry, I'm bringing your stuff up here, but it hit home with me, and with all the other things going on. And I know this. M- My I thought I had my wallet over here somewhere. My wallet's closed. I'm done. I'm done buying stuff from people for quite a while. I think I will always leave that door open. But I am shutting myself off from the vending community right now because I think there's a detachment, and um, I don't like it. I don't like where it's going. I don't like how it's being presented to me, the consumer. I don't like how it's played off that it's all this comfy little group together when the reality is there are certain cliques within certain companies and their customers and others who are just left out the door, no matter how much money they may be spending on that company. That company only cares about their little clique. So um, I'm moving on without question from some things, some companies, some things that I do. That was a hard reality for me to go through. So anyway, I don't know if this is going to piss everyone off. I don't know if this is going to get some people thinking. That's really the intended shot at this, is to have you sit back and think, why are you doing this? What do you want out of it? And what do you expect from your vendor? And look at those three things. Are you getting it? Because if you're not getting all three of those things, it's any one of them can make this all go. um, anyway, just if you got comments, throw them in, negative or positive. I don't care. And hope everyone has a great Wednesday.